I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. No second guess it, I let it set it. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. I smack my girl's ass, tell her pinch me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Ooh, welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. Danny G, Miley, and a Jimmer, the three amigos in the house tonight. How's it going, boys?
Not bad.
Yeah, it's going really good. James, did you know we had somebody with ESP, a part of our crew?
You have my attention. No. ESP.
ESP, Danny.
Why do you say that? That's
well, let's make some big calls he made about the NBA trade.
Oh yeah, yep. He did.
He made it. We'll roll into those in a little bit, but I think Danny G deserves a lot of credit for that.
I don't know.
Can I point out something, guys?
What's that?
Are we running with that running?
Oh yeah. I might shut her off.
Oh, yeah, if you want to shut it off, it's up to you.
Yeah, we'll see what it does. We'll do one just like it. We'll see.
All right.
There's no backup tonight.
So on a night when it's really, warmer out, now we try it. It's okay. I'm down with it, though.
It's supposed to be like in the 30s all week next week. It's like spring.
That'll be, that is
Yeah,
spring.
that's like perfect, isn't it?
100%.
Yeah,
man.
start seeing the shit melting away. I can maybe see my driveway at some point. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, there's concrete under there.
Yeah, there is, evidently. I mean, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
My son came out of his room the other day and said, that groundhog seen a shadow, Miles. I said, Carter, I don't know what that means. He always sees his fucking shadow.
True that. So I do have one little thing before we can roll, and that's I got to witness at work. Yeah. I got to witness at work the most blatant disrespect of a management I've ever seen in person. And the dude technically still has his job. And I'm not talking about one little thing where you kind of like, and I'm not saying like to overreact to one thing. What I watched was insane. So this cat is the reason why, emphasis, it's always been a rule that we're not supposed to be carrying our phone on the floor, right? And he's the reason why him and basically another guy, the reason why it's being like blown up. Can't carry your phones. So on the same day that management makes, like in our kickoff meeting, makes the announcement, that same cat, like right afterwards, because as soon as our supervisor starts talking, he shuts his phone off, sets it down at the table, no problem, right? Soon as he's done with the kickoff meeting, and right after he says no more phones, it's going to be right up if it's seen, blah, 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 right? He literally watches the dude pick it up and walk out the door. Now, that's been a couple weeks ago, but that was when it started, right?
Man.
Literally watches him pick up the phone and walk right out, not to his locker to go pretend like it, right? No, right into his pocket, right out the door. So he had to go up to me. He's like, dude, I literally just said no phones on the floor. Supposed to be in your locker. So he gets popped on his phone at work. What day was that? That was Wednesday? It was Wednesday. He was in a room he was in one of the rooms on the forklift and just playing around on his phone. Someone pops him. He ends up getting tagged up about it and called up to get written up for it. The whole time, this is where it gets messed up. So, not to mention he's always back in the our electrical room where there's a computer and shit. He's always back there, and there's a bathroom, so they're always in the shitter.
Of course.
They shit like 15 times a day, him and this other guy.
Yeah,
so
it
when
really
you go
sucks
back there,
when I actually have to shit.
right, there's only one fucking bathroom back there. So it's always taken up by these guys that are shitting. So back to what I was saying. He goes up to the lead's office. He's getting written up. There's a window on this door or everything. You can see him literally just spinning in his chair, just sitting back. No big deal. Just fucking. I guess at one point he was even asked, "Do you even want this job?" Yeah. I think I do. Just kind of fucking going like that, looking around. So leaves that after getting written up. Goes down. Doesn't go back down to the room. He's already taken break. Goes to the break room. Goes back to the locker room, and sits back there. The reason why I know this phase is literally because somebody watched him do it, and then the manager walks in, and when I walk out, I even hear her tell her, because she's like, the one that wrote him up is like, obviously she can't go back there. She asked another supervisor, like right when I walked out, can you go back there and see if so and so is back there? Shouldn't be back there. He was just on break. He already was on break. Well, sure shit, he was back there. So they basically push him out the door, basically, to push him to go back to work. Not done yet.
Jesus.
Gets caught in the electrical room on the computer. What I'm talking about is about like 3 different managers throughout this whole process, right? Or supervisors, whatever you want to call it, management. One of them goes on there, ends up seeing him, he's fucking around on the computer. Not like his email and shit. Not work related. Fucking around like YouTube. Fucking around on whatever websites. Got warned, got told to go back to work. This is all after already being written up. A little while later, blatantly goes back there on the computer, turns on YouTube, starts blaring music. Yes.
Trying to get fired.
Yeah. They go down, and the supervisor, she walks down there, catches him in this act, and she comes back up, and she's livid. I've never seen her this pissed in my life. Never. I've seen her irritated. I've never seen her this pissed. Like, she was almost like this. She was, her arms, like, while she's walking up the ramp back to her office, her arms were stiff and angry. Like, her face was, I've never seen her that angry. And I have a knack for getting people pissed off. I've never seen that. They eventually, I guess, and I didn't see it by the end of the day. So around noonish, is that what it was? Around noonish,
Yeah.
they tell him, you need to go home for the rest of the day. And don't worry about coming back tomorrow. Friday, if you still want your job, you can come back then. Now, I had vacation today, but I got snaps from other people that were at work. And this dude took like 7 breaks today. Now, I did miss one key point to the utter disrespect, right? Like, all this stuff. Like, you still obviously don't care, right? Trying to get fired, like you said. Right after getting written up, like right after, he's still in the office. He looks, he's like, hey, can I take a vacation day the rest of the day? You're not allowed to break up your vacation days, like as in by hourlies. It's a full 8-hour thing. He's already used 2 weeks of vacation almost. At least a week is what I heard. At least a week, 4 personal days, and a floating holiday. It's only February. This is supposed to be accrued over time. He is literally, so
Man.
My point is, I've never seen anybody so blatantly, like, if you wanted to get fired, there's other ways to do it, I think. But they're also, I don't know if we even have the ability to fire somebody, or we won't fire somebody unless it is like severe. Like, you have to cross that ridiculous line. You know what I'm saying? But I had to let everyone know. I'm like, I've never seen that blatantly disrespect.
Jesus.
Like, throughout the whole process. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, they're after that unemployment check, man, obviously.
Man, I've shouted at managers, and I don't think that's nearly as much as what I just watched. I really don't.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn, you're showing like they give no respect for him at all.
Right.
So, yeah, just wanted to share that tidbit.
Jesus.
Yeah. But we can roll with crazy sporting news.
Yeah, I know you got some NBA stuff that you wanted to bring up. I did notice something that you didn't have in your news because this is really recent. This is like in the last half hour, right?
Okay.
So there was going to be a pretty big trade. So a 4-team trade. It was like, here, actually, I'll pull it up. So it was the Warriors, the Blazers. Oh, man. There we go. The Pistons and the Hawks, okay?
Yep.
And so the key out of this whole thing was Gary Payton, the second, was going to go to the Warriors again. Try to help them. You just got to unplug it, Jimmer. He was going to try to help them stay afloat because, you know, he was there before. They like him, right? Yeah.
Second, right?
Yep. So he would have gone to the Warriors. The Pistons received Wiseman. The Hawks would receive Sadiq Bey. The Blazers would have got Kevin Knox and 5 second-round picks. Insane, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much just for Gary Payton. So here's why this is interesting. So the trade is kiboshed at this point. Gary Payton failed his physical.
Oh.
As it turns out, Gary Payton, the trainers have been forcing him to play through an injury with Toradol over the last X amount of time. They did not inform anybody about this. And
oh, shit.
yeah. Shiesty.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Of course, with him, like, he's barely. He had a breakout year last year. Breakout. I mean, and he was damn good for him, right? For the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
3-and-D and just a lot of heart, right? Not quite his dad's God-given talent, but
Right.
he probably still feels like he has to do shit like that. Like, so when the trainer says, "Hey, this is what you got to do to stay on the court," I hope and assume they lose their job, right?
I would hope so too. That goes all the way back to, like, the team didn't inform anybody. Nobody knew until he failed his physical.
Yeah.
Like, that's tough. It's a little bit funny in a sense for Golden State because he might have been able to help them stay afloat because he fit that team pretty well.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's too bad, darn Golden State. You're not. I don't even know if you make the playoffs now. Like, you're gonna be in a rough spot.
There you are. Yeah.
But I just thought that was interesting because it's like I saw it fell apart and I'm like, okay, what the hell happened? Oh, as it turns out, what the fuck?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
It's
I thought that was finished.
It's crazy that he's been high for all these games.
Toradol?
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah. Toradol's serious. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know it takes the pain. I guess I didn't know what it does for you the rest of the way, but I know that it takes the pain out.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big ass muscle relaxer.
So you're gonna be loopy.
Yeah,
Right?
and dude's out here draining it.
Dude, probably the reason why his stats have dipped, actually.
Maybe. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not just because of the injury. I'm talking about, like, when you're if you're shooting. Dude, I've had muscle relaxers. I'm not a big old fan of, what is that, Loratab. I'm not. Like, whenever you're in pain, that's usually what they give you. I may take one, and that's it. That'd be, like, the first day or whatever. It makes you way too loopy. I'm not into that shit. You know, I don't like feeling like my head is, like.
Yeah.
I will try to play basketball on that, right?
I can't imagine.
I try to fight my sleep on that.
So are you predicting they don't make the playoffs?
I don't know. I don't know if they will. They were barely doing well enough with Steph, and he's out for God knows how long.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna do.
It's gonna be crazy.
Well, good thing they paid Poole.
No shit. Where's he at?
5 years from now, and the Blazers take all those second rounds of the playoffs.
Well,
they can't. It didn't happen.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
But it would have been
So
cool.
yeah, we saw. So that actually helps build into what I'm saying or what the news was. The big news. That's crazy. The Suns have acquired Kevin Durant and T.J. Warren from the Nets in a blockbuster deal that sends Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, and 4 unprotected future first-round picks to the Nets. Now, I have like 3 little things for this. 3 questions / whatever. And one is like to tie into what you just said. The West is down, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Nuggets, right? The Nuggets lead that by like 4.5 games or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But their playoff record hasn't been very sexy the last few years, right? There should be a slam dunk run if everyone stays healthy, correct?
Yeah. KD jumped them up to. I think they have the 3rd best odds to win the NBA Finals this year, right? Just by that trade. What's interesting about that is Crowder. I think he ended up. Maybe they cut him. I don't know what happened, but he's with the Bucks now.
Okay.
So he actually went to the Bucks. So it could be interesting. I like Crowder myself, so I think that was a big loss. But I think the Bucks make the most sense to make it back if they're healthy. that he could end up playing his old team here in the finals potentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It should be a slam dunk. They got to. I don't know about the defense though. The defense, maybe KD will help that a little bit. But there's no real team in the West that we can say for sure is. They're probably the closest.
Right.
And then your boy could end up with a ring this year finally.
He could. Should. If they're all healthy, yeah. It'd be a letdown if they don't. I mean, even with
a huge letdown, right?
It'd be a huge letdown. I'm with you. Like, it'd be a failure. It'd be a flat out failure because you didn't have to give up. Those are big pieces you gave up, but you still didn't have. You still didn't give up Booker. You didn't give up CP3. You didn't even give up the center that doesn't want to be there, right? And you got to keep, and then you got to bring in Kevin Durant with all that. Kevin Durant doesn't need the ball in his hands to succeed. Not like, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to control it. So I don't even think you need much meshing. You know what I'm saying? It's
Agreed.
like all you have to do is run around, find your spot, and I will dish you the rock. I mean, it basically should be. So I'm actually with you. They don't go to the finals, and more specifically, at least make a run, and I'm talking about it would have to be like the Celtics or the Bucks or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
If they were to lose to one of those two teams in like a 6 or 7 game series, maybe I would give a little bit of a pass. But they have to go there. You almost have to win too with that. You almost have to win, and you definitely have to make a showing regardless.
You have to, man.
It better be a back and forth, like something stupid like that. But the next question is who won the trade then?
Devin Booker and CP3.
Yeah, Phoenix for sure. I don't care how much you gave up, and they didn't have to give up a ton, to be honest. You're landing KD, and that really puts you over the top. You win.
4 unprotected future first-round picks. Now, I don't know what his deal is right now. Does he still have – he only has 1 more year? Is that this year? I'm going to look up his contract.
Check that.
Because that's where I'll make –
I thought he signed that for a year.
Was that – oh, yeah.
I thought he did last year, yeah.
Kevin
But
Durant.
could be wrong.
That being said, I do believe it is, clearly. But I do think it's almost like a win-win. Like, you couldn't – KD didn't want to be there. You literally already gave Kyrie. Nobody had a shot. I would say the loser of this actually isn't either one of the teams. The loser in this is Ben Simmons. Did you see that they have even gotten the pieces back from the Suns and he's still not a starter? He's coming in off the bench, gentlemen.
Yeah.
You don't even have the pieces that I just said. The McCall, the Cam Johnson, all those. Those aren't even there yet. And he's still coming off the bench for this next game.
Yeah, it's going to be worse because now he's really the focal point. He had a chance to just kind of, slide in because you've got all the Kyrie shit. KD's one of the best players in the league.
Yeah.
And you could figure your shit out. Now he's going to be the focal point again. And I don't know if mentally he's strong enough for that, dude.
What's, I think you are right, sir. Yeah, because he is signed through 25, 26. Yeah. Slam dunk. I mean, so what I'm saying, if it would have been an A-, it's definitely an A+, because at least he's going to be there, most likely. Or you'll be able to recoup some of them. It isn't just a 1 year. There's no guarantee he was going to sign with you, and you gave away 4 first-rounders. Slam dunk.
Yeah.
A++. You became a legitimate title contender, especially in the weak-ass West. The only other team that may make some noise kind of leads me into my next one. The Lakers made some noise by adding Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, D'Angelo Russell, and Mo Bamba over the trade deadline.
And they got rid of Russell Westbrook.
All they had to give up for all of that was 1 top 4 protected 2027 first-round draft pick, Patrick Beverley, Russell Westbrook, and Thomas Bryant.
The one thing I'll say is Thomas Bryant's been playing well.
He has been.
The reason they were willing to let him up is because basically they're not going to be able to pay him the minimum money next year because he's played above that.
Yep.
That is a big deal because AD being out, he kind of came in big for him.
He did. Yep.
So it's a win-win for both of them.
Was he averaging like 12 and 8 or something like that? Not bad for a guy that's also had some injury history in the past, but it started coming around, and especially when you know a boy's gonna miss time.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's interesting they stick with the rim guys instead of like bringing in some kind of shooters though, right? Like they still want to build that way. I would have liked to see him get some more shooters, but they do need to defend the rim, so it helped. They're better off, I guess, is my point. But
Miles, I wish you had your tablet tonight, because I wanted something to blow his mind, because this is really gonna bug. Malik Beasley. Do you know this?
not sure.
Malik Beasley got traded to the Lakers. You know who is on the Lakers roster?
No, he's not. Is he?
Scottie Pippen Jr. Malik Beasley is banging Larissa Pippen. So it's the first time in NBA history that a father-son duo
He's on the same team.
Dude,
That's
look
beautiful.
it up. Oh my god! Like he walks in the building, like do they carpool now? Like how's this work?
They've got to.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Beasley drives. Scottie Pippen Jr.'s in the back seat, buckled up.
Driving mom's vehicle too.
He better not call me dad, because I'll drop that motherfucker.
I couldn't believe that shit. So he took a shot. He was married or had a girlfriend or something at the time. He took his shot like on Instagram with her. Like, hey, you need to be spoiled the right way or something like that. It wasn't like really like sexual or anything. It was just like something like that. Took a shot. She flew forward, and now they're in the same jersey.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When they came out with that Michael Jordan documentary, I did Google her nude.
Who?
Scottie Pippen's ex-wife.
Larissa Pippen?
That doesn't matter what her name was. Scottie Pippen's ex-wife.
How did that all start? Like, was it Future that she was fucking around with first, and Scottie Pippen found out? I can't remember if he walked in. There was something real bad with that one.
There was something real hideous.
Yeah. Yeah, I did, dude. No, I did not realize he was still on the Lakers. Oh my God.
Well, there's like just drama in this little trade group anyway. I think it makes them better if it's all basketball, if it's all like you just put the overall ratings in there if you want to do it like that, like 2K style. Because D'Angelo Russell is an improvement from the scoring aspect. I'm not talking about like the drive and will. That's Russell all day. I would love. God, I just wish they would have been able to get some other pieces without getting rid of Russell and let Russell run the second team.
No,
I mean that.
I'll give you that.
When he was running the second team, it was almost like his Thunder days. You know what I'm saying?
It was really good.
It was good.
Well,
But-
I mean, can you think of the money that Scottie Pippen Jr. is saving right now? Just letting Daddy pay the carpool. Or not the carpool, the toll bridges. In L.A.? I mean, I don't know if they're there, but if they are, there's got to be one like every 7 miles.
Oh, shit, man.
Well, Kobe used to fly to practice, right? Or
Yeah.
something like that.
That's probably cheap.
Helicopter, I think.
There's a lot of people that do that. Like, I think it was the Kardashians, I think, do something like that too. Just because the traffic is so horrendous.
Mhm.
Or the fact that you get paid for your time at work, not paid for your drive to work.
That will never happen. You know that.
That's what I'm stating.
Because you
though.
could literally buy the land right across from your place that you work, and you could just walk across.
Yeah, but I'm saying, why not clock in at the last minute instead of waiting?
Yeah,
there
I'm
for-
with you.
it
I'm
does-
with you. You know, like, I'm just giving you the debate that they always give, right? I'm with you that I think you should get paid for
the
your
15
drive,
minutes or-
like whatever your drive is, because they'll be like, well, you could live in town. That's literally been a thing. So, like, our new debate is the weather, basically, and be able to use what time you can use for it, because you only get 5 personal days. You've seen how bad our winter has been here in North Iowa, right?
It's been real, yeah.
We've had 2 really bad days that are like right up here, stuck in my mind, like really bad days, and people went to work.
Yep.
I'm like, you risked your life for $1 an hour, whatever it is, right? And some people did call in, use some time. They'd use personal time, right? Well, now you're already down 2. If you get sick, they were down 3. Now you have the rest of the year to make it with 2. If you have kids, which are unpredictable, right? That's the rest of the year. I'm like, why can't you use some of your vacation? Or take it unpaid? Isn't that punishment enough, taking it unpaid? If you feel like it? Yeah. So,
Agreed.
regardless, that's probably my son out there. You hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rocky
Oh, that's
I
what
guarantee it is.
Oh, I thought it was dogs barking.
Mountain. No, I believe it.
It was blowing.
I'm telling him to turn it down right now. That'd be my youngest son.
Hey, he deserves it. Turn it up, little man.
He's ripping out there. That is getting like louder, but my speakers are already rattling anyway because my boys ever like blowing my stuff.
Yeah, you can't be mad. They're already blown. Re-blow 'em.
But yeah, regardless, what do you give any respect to the Lakers in the shot after this trade?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about if AD can stay healthy. The trade helps a little bit, but if he's healthy, they have a shot either way, I think, because that's impossible to defend those two together. I think part of the reason with Westbrook, though, I think he was playing up because he wanted to get out of there. People saw last year, and it was terrible. Nobody wanted him. They could not give him away.
Yep.
And I think part of the reason he was playing up was so he could get out of there. He didn't want to be there. And then you saw that recently with the rift and all the shit. Westbrook was terrible apparently this last week or couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
He even one of the games the other night, they were trying to pull him out to get subbed, and he wouldn't do it. And the referee, he got into like an argument with the referee. He's like, "Hey, you're getting subbed out. Go," and they got into an argument. Like, it just got really bad. So no matter what, he wanted to get out of there. It sounds like he could end up with the Clippers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be some shove it right back? I'm telling you, that could be interesting. Like you knew it wasn't going to work with these two because what makes Westbrook special is he needs the ball, his athletic ability. He needs the ball and able to do it. He doesn't have a good jumper, so he drives everything off of his ability to drive to the cup, kick, whatever. Right? That's what LeBron is. LeBron's just bigger.
Yep.
Right? That's what his is. I mean, LeBron can shoot. LeBron can shoot a hell of a lot better than him. I mean, but basically Westbrook is like a smaller version of him, correct? I don't know. Maybe with the Clippers, you don't need – Paul George is the perfect two. He's always said that, and he's admitted that. He doesn't want to be the man. He just wants – yeah, that's a nice way of putting it. Don't know what's even going on there. They're a pretty quiet team this year, so I don't know.
Yeah. I kind of like that. I feel like people are starting to realize Kawhi is not that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know me and you are definitely on the same page on this one.
Yeah.
It's not going to pan out. He's overpaid because they sploofly won a championship up there.
Right.
And they did. Hey, it was cool to see. It was cool to see Canada, Toronto, all those guys, like their fan base and everything. But
yeah,
he took the league by the balls and just kind of, what? I'm going to take care of me only. And then they still pay him.
Yeah.
Stupid. I forgot. This sounds really stupid that I did. While I was putting all these notes in, I did forget to say that we officially have a new all-time scoring champ in the NBA.
Who's that?
One, LeBron King James on a fallback jumper. Passes Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, which had the most awkward center court exchange I've ever seen. Because I know that Kareem doesn't like him.
Right.
And I don't know if LeBron does or not. Like, he shows the respect to him or whatever. But, like, I think Abdul-Jabbar disrespected him many years ago. Like, many years ago. This isn't, like, in the last couple of years. So, it was kind of, like, awkward. I don't know which one was more awkward, though, Danny. Was it that? Or was it his comments after that? Like, when they were on the...
Man, yeah. It could have been that. Or... they lost to a bad team in OKC, okay? He had a party after that, which, yeah, maybe you deserve it because you got the all-time scoring record.
Or you already had it planned.
But he brought two goats to this party.
Shut up. No, I didn't see that one.
I fucking want to defend him all the time, man. And then he keeps doing shit like this, saying the shit that he says. I'm like, fuck, just shut up, dude.
Dude, let other people tell you are.
Right. It's so frustrating, man. And I don't know. If you think that one thing is what put you over being the GOAT, those 2 points, as if you never got those 2 points, anything would change, you're fucking nuts. It's a big deal because you have it, but, like, I don't know, dude. That kind of shit pisses me off.
But if you would have came up 2 points short, like the rest of your career is done, that wasn't going to be the driving nail, right?
Right.
Yeah, you know why he brought two goats, right?
Go ahead.
Because he couldn't get the real two goats there.
Who are your two goats, by the way?
Michael
Miles?
Jordan, Dennis Rodman, baby.
Dennis Rodman.
Okay, Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman's actually number 1 in my book.
Dennis Rodman is the best rebounder of all time, bar none. Don't give a fuck. Don't care about the numbers. I do not care. His per game average is stupid. It's nowhere near. And he was 6'9" when he was doing it. He wasn't 7 foot.
Do you remember when he came back and played? Who did he come back for? It was just quiet after the championships. He was old as shit. He was averaging like 14 or 15 rebounds a
The
game.
Mavs, wasn't it?
It
I
might
think it was the
been.
Mavs.
Yeah, he was still. I'm like, what the fuck? Closest guy's like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
He's, I don't know, 40 years old, fucking old. Like, he's insane, dude.
He grew 7 inches in his first year of college.
Right. But
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm putting him as the GOAT of all people in the world, though. Like I know I said this before. I'm getting a tattoo, a portrait of Dennis Rodman.
is he your spirit animal?
Dennis Rodman should be the spirit animal of a lot of us. That guy does and says what he wants.
Did he go have a sit down with a fucking
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kim Jong-un.
Jong-un,
Yep.
right?
He married himself. He goes and gets people released or tries to, and the government's like, well, we can't have that going on. He's like, oh, don't worry, they'll let her out when I get there. It's like he's just going to go there and blow their mind with stupid facts. He's like, hey, you want to see a video of me and Carmen Electra? Well, I'll exchange it. Let her out.
Yeah.
Who are those legitimately your goats though? Your goats of the NBA.
I'm not lying. And the reason I put him number 1 over Michael Jordan is because any dude that can go on a week bender and Michael Jordan goes to his hotel room and says, dude, I fucking need you. Come on. And then they go win a championship. You tell me who the MVP was.
I actually kind of like. Yeah, I don't know about the goat part, but like at least I like your debate on it
Yeah.
for sure. Your reasoning.
If the GOAT's knocking on your door saying, I need you, you to go now.
oh,
He was knighted. All right.
okay.
Yeah. King Arthur.
I like your logic.
There you go.
I need you.
Okay.
The sword.
That being said, it was really douchey. It made me feel really. He's one of my favorite players. You know that. He's one of my favorite players of all time. I hate seeing when he like makes comments and shit. It makes me cringe instead of just take the high road. Literally, don't say you're taking the high road either. That's one of his conversations.
Right.
One of the things you don't need to say it. Just literally take the high road. Just it's an honor. It's a privilege. I didn't strive to get this. I've been fortunate with my health throughout these all these years. Blah blah blah. Something like that. Just keep it fucking nonchalant, plain Jane. It just seems really ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they lost the game. And then Anthony Davis didn't get up and show. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Didn't get up and show his respect for when they were announcing him passing the record.
Even on the shot, everybody's up watching, and he went and sat down, when the shot was up. And he after the game, maybe it was today, he's like, "Hey, listen, it had nothing to do with him. He knows that. It was just we were losing the game, and I was pissed off." So okay,
Maybe it was. Maybe it was.
hopefully that was.
I'll give the benefit on it. Maybe it was, because until it's proven otherwise, I'm gonna go ahead and say you were pissed that you were losing. You weren't paying attention to the nature of the moment, I guess. And that can escape you, which it should, because you're sitting there as a competitor. You're trying to win. And I don't know if you, but I'm gonna go ahead and shove it back the other way, Danny, to him, because I said I'm gonna give him a little leash. I'll go the other way. I don't know if you can actually shake your head when you've been on the court fucking 25 games a year. I don't know if you can do that.
I know, man. He gets way too much love. You know what I mean? As one of the best in the league.
Yes, he does.
You have to be on the court more to be one of the best, dude.
I agree, because we're just going by potential.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? We're going by potential, and that's all. That's all his ever is. I mean, he does have a championship ring, and he was a big part to that. He really was.
Don't worry,
But that was a shortened season too.
Yeah.
there's a 7'4" kid from France that's coming to break all those records.
Think so.
Yeah,
Do you know that record stood?
20 years. 25?
No, 30 plus years.
Yeah.
38?
No.
33?
It was like what? When did he? Like late 80s. So it was probably 33, something like that. It was over 30 though.
Yeah, it was over 30 for sure.
Because he played till it was like 88.
88. Because he wasn't part of the 90s at all, right?
Right. I don't think so.
We'll look her up.
Maybe. You know what? It could have been early when Magic was. Yeah, it could have been early.
It could have been early 90s.
So call it 30 years.
I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, that shit lasted forever. People thought it would never get touched.
And I don't think it'll ever be touched again. And the reason why I say that.
39 years.
Yeah. That's what I said. 30. I was thinking 38, 39.
All right.
83. I thought he played later into the 80s.
He only played till he was 40.
He played 20 years. He
42.
played 20 years. I do know that.
I think, yeah, so 42.
So you're telling me he only played till 83?
1989 was his last year.
89.
89.
Yeah, so we're talking 30, like 31
34 years? 34.
Yeah.
Why did
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, either way.
I can't do math.
So regardless,
math.
what I'm getting at is I think it's always going to stay. I don't think it's going to stay because, and the reason why I say that, I'm not saying that because I don't think the talent is going to be there. I don't think the scoring is going to be there. Technically, the scoring's went up. And it looks like it should be able to get beat even sooner. It's not going to. We're in a different age where everyone sits.
Yeah,
everyone
that's
sits
exactly
games. Right. Nobody's playing 20 seasons as the lead dog. I'm sorry. You're not going to see that. That's the reason why LeBron is special. That's the reason why Kobe was special. That's the reason why Timmy was special. Abdul-Jabbar was special. 20 years doesn't happen very often.
Dennis Rodman.
That's
Special.
It was almost 20 seasons also. He was in his 40s for sure when he played that one season, right? So regardless, it's so rare. You're not going to have 20 seasons from a guy very often. And the one that does break through and kick through that, unless he comes out a new breed and flips it back around the other way, too many rest games, too many injuries because people are bigger, stronger, whatever. I think you talked about that too. It isn't steroids and all that shit. It's actually overworking your body. You know what I'm saying?
Plus, you have to look at it's more than 20 years because they're more than 20 seasons because technically he's played an extra how many seasons?
Yeah.
Including the postseason, stuff like that too, you know? So
yeah. And he's not done yet either.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying it will never get touched again. I really do believe that. It won't be in our lifetime if it does. Obviously, so maybe we should enjoy it. But I didn't like the answers. Hopefully those get deleted. Hopefully the video kind of comes up missing.
Yeah, no shit.
But the NFL awards were announced, gentlemen. No big surprise. MVP, Patty Mahomes. Deserving?
Yeah.
Deserving?
Micah Parsons.
Jesus. No, for MVP.
Yeah, Micah Parsons. Sorry.
You have our attention.
I want to see somebody other than the quarterback. It's annoying. I hate it. Just make a fucking quarterback award then.
He didn't even win defensive MVP.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
I know. I'm being a
Well,
smart ass.
we're going down the list, so I'll go down the list. But okay, he's obviously we triggered something. Didn't even mean to trigger something. We triggered something. Offensive Player of the Year, our own JJ Justin Jefferson. You surprised by that one?
No.
Didn't think a quarterback could still kind of take that. I mean, I believe he should have gotten it. That is what I'm saying. He probably could have tossed.
Oh, no, I'm giving him that one. Wait a minute.
It's weird that you can be the Offensive Player of the Year, but you're not the MVP, and vice versa.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like an extra MVP.
Now you're catching on.
No, now you're catching on to what I'm saying.
Why?
They should be the same award, basically.
Yes.
Because the MVP never goes to a defensive player. It's so impossible. It's so you have to break an all-time record.
A few of them usually, you know,
and a
like,
few of them, right? They got to be long-sitting records.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you a back-to-back here. Should have been Aaron Donald the year it was. What was that, 2 years ago?
We're
no, hold on.
I'm sorry. We're calling my son.
Cooper Kupp.
Right? We're going to call him live.
The following year. And then JJ this year should have been MVP. Why do you have two offensive awards? You can give it to the rookies.
Mm-hmm. Turn it down.
Hey, are you listening to I Like Bad
Stop.
Bitches? That's my problem.
Stop. We can literally hear you in here, okay? Thank you, buddy.
It was a good song, Quinn.
Don't egg him on.
What? I'm not egging him on.
You were.
Look, now I'm my
You're
daughter
asking
again.
us Yeah, see? There he goes.
Yeah, it's pretty much a 1A, 1B thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, I can't argue with Patty winning the MVP, though, because everybody thought he was going to fall off after what happened.
Yeah.
Everybody. We talked about this, right?
I believe so.
But here he is, another 5,000-yard year, 41 touchdowns, right? And led them to, again, the Super Bowl. So, you can't argue that.
Putting up ridiculous fantasy points.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no. It should not. I can't express this enough. If you have an offensive player of the year and then you do MVP, which it's not going to a defensive player. It has, but it's not going to.
Maybe you should find a way to get it to a defensive player every so often. Maybe you put it on a metric system or something. You know what I'm saying? Like your sacks, your whatever, all your defensive stats are worth this on the metric versus these ones. You almost have to dumb down the offensive ones a little bit because the rules have went so much their way. Maybe you do it like that so then it can. So you can actually square that up towards most valuable player.
Who is one defensive
Because
MVP?
Aaron Donald, when you guys were going, when you
Nick
guys were
Bosa.
balling, that was him.
Bosa.
No. I'm stating, who has a defensive player ever won MVP overall?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Can I have the last person? Can you look up?
I
who
am
the last
looking up
person?
right now. Yep.
Because then, why do you have the defensive MVP that year?
Wasn't Lawrence Taylor, was it?
It probably was.
I think it might have been.
You get what I'm stating, though? If you have an MVP that year, and it's a defensive player who already has a defensive MVP that year, does that not sound dumb?
Yeah.
You're giving it to the runner-up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much what they are. Yeah,
There,
totally, dude.
That's how I'm trying to explain it. You're giving the MVP award to the runner-up when you say offensive.
It's only happened twice in NFL history that it's went to a defensive player. The last player was, and you called that one, was Lawrence Taylor, 1986.
Jack,
The other player is our boy, Alan Page.
Oh.
All right.
But
Really?
still,
I'm not-
two times. You're telling me only 2 times in the history of NFL, the best player, the most valuable player was a defensive player?
Yeah.
You're telling me you couldn't have handed that bad bitch to Ray Lewis or, you know what I'm saying, during one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because he was he led them in their first Super Bowl for sure, right?
It's an uphill battle, man. They keep like you said, they keep making the rules in the offense's favor. So the offensive players are getting close to or they're breaking records all the time. It's impossible anymore. It's not going to happen.
It won't happen.
Sucks.
Yeah, can you think about what Ray Lewis used to do? And I'm going to put it in perspective now that I just had in my head. Ray Lewis used to literally scare tight ends and wide receivers from running any slants in the center of the field.
Yeah.
I still need to watch that 30 for 30. I heard it's nasty.
That
Yeah,
take-
I haven't
It's like
watched
it's
it
good.
like in today's playbook, that would take away 30% of your offensive plays.
Mhm.
So Ray Lewis was already holding the offense accountable. Like, hey, you can't do that shit. And then if you do that now, it's a flag. You know, like you can't cross them, or do what he used to do.
Oh, yeah.
He would meet you at 3 yards,
Well, you guys did
blow you up.
Well, let's keep going with what you're saying then. So you guys seen Trent Dilfer's comments, right?
I don't know.
He was talking about like some old school, I don't know where the hell where he was at, but it was a big deal. It just happened like a few days ago. He was just telling me he was sitting with a bunch of like old school legendary quarterbacks. And it was basically, I love, what did he say? I love Aaron Rodgers. I love Tom Brady, but I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed that he's like, the rules have changed so much. And I'm actually, I'm paraphrasing everything.
Yeah,
And I'm actually saying what he's saying is the rules have changed so much. You don't have to bump. You can't reroute receivers. You can't touch receivers. There's nothing going across the middle. There's no contact, and you can't touch a quarterback. He's like, you guys are legends. I don't know who, it shows a vision of him and 4 other people. I don't know who the other quarterbacks were sitting in there. It was televised, but he was talking to them like an old school. He's like, I don't have any respect for or not respect. He's like, there's no love for the today's game version.
You could almost say Tom Brady went through like 3 years of it, but that's when it was getting soft.
It started to, right?
Yeah.
Like probably
because of him in part.
Yeah, no, it was
you know?
because.
Yeah.
There you go. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I actually call it the Bledsoe injury, right? Or Doug Flutie.
No.
No, it was Bledsoe.
That was Bledsoe. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, didn't it go? Oh, Doug Flutie was for Sean Scar. Little guy.
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees. Yeah. So, yeah. I just lost it. Got too many names.
You were doing like
Brady.
something crazy.
Bledsoe.
Bledsoe went out.
Yep.
And then Tom Brady came in.
Yep.
Yep.
And then they won that Super Bowl against the Rams.
Mhm.
Field goal, Adam Vinatieri.
Mhm.
Douchebag. Sorry, Vinatieri, you're a goat, though. And what I'm saying is that's when the league went soft. Well, who did the butt fumble?
Our guy from USC, man, Sanchez.
That's scripted. The dirty Sanchez did
I'm
the butt
looking
fumble.
this up quick.
I lost it, guys. I had it. I can't think where I was going with it now.
Yeah, that's part of when the rules started to change, though. Like, especially when it comes to hitting the quarterback and that.
Carson Palmer.
There was, I can't find the damn thing. He was on a,
What?
Carson Palmer got his torn up too. But it was mainly, Tom Brady literally, I mean, and then the flag thing started with, you can't touch him. And like, yeah, he throw up his arms. Remember that season? He throw up his arms, there'd be a flag just thrown right then.
Yep, but what I'm saying is that I noticed so I was going the Tom Brady route, but then I remember Carson Palmer in the wild card round at the 3-yard line where he got his ACL torn from a blatant low hit, and then they're like, "Hey, whoa, we can't do that shit anymore."
No, that isn't what changed it. It literally was the Tom Brady one.
Okay,
it really was. Now all those guys, unfortunately, and they were probably right around that same time too, right around that same time era. So I'm not disagreeing with you fully. I just mean it was literally Tom Brady. It was the poster of what they were trying to do. The Carson Palmer never made it back, really, for the most part. He went and played for the Cardinals, did okay for a little while. I mean, they had a high-flying offense. Maybe I shouldn't say he didn't come back, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, Bountygate at the same time, too.
Yep. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
We know.
All that probably didn't help the NFL.
No, that was what? What year was that? 13?
It helped the quarterbacks,
12,
though.
13, yeah.
12.
Helped the quarterbacks, though. Not Tua, but it helped the other ones.
Well, Tua is too small. That's his problem.
Yeah.
He gets touched, literally, and he flings back 5 yards.
How tall is he? Like, how much?
5'9",
9,
5'11", 10.
somewhere in
What do
there.
you think?
Somewhere in
Like
the ballpark.
140? So these guys are literally lifting 140-pound dumbbells with Tua's face on it. Just like, yeah, you're getting thrown.
Yeah, it doesn't take much, man.
It says he's 6'1".
Yeah, that's a reach.
With his helmet on.
That's a reach.
That cat is not 6'1".
No.
His pads look pretty bulky. He actually needs to grow into them.
Yeah.
We are touching on him a little bit later too. But
He could be on one side.
let's roll down the rest of these quick. And that was Defensive Player of the Year was Nick Bosa, 18.5 sacks, I do believe.
Yep.
He was a monster for the league's best defense, so makes sense, right?
Yeah.
You didn't have any complaints there. Comeback Player of the Year, Geno Smith, baby.
It's pretty awesome.
So not in the typical way that they do a comeback Player of the Year. Usually it's from injury, but I actually was digging this one too, that he got the comeback Player of the Year just because
We called that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, we called that, but I want to get to who's the coach
Offensive. I'll get to it. Offensive Rookie of the Year. This one,
Better not be
Danny might not like. Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I don't.
What? Who should have been Danny? And then I'm going to tell you something interesting.
Well, so it sucks because New Orleans didn't have a quarterback because it should have been Olave if they had a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
It should have been Brees, which is interesting because they potentially had 2 offensive rookies on the team. Or it should have been my guy up in Seattle. I think
Yes.
Kenneth Walker ultimately probably deserved it.
Kenneth Walker is the one I was waiting for you to say. Chris Olave, probably the quarterbacks is what I'm talking about. Literally at the end of the season, every all stats counted.
Yeah,
Kenneth Walker. Interesting
That's bullshit.
that you think that. Kenneth Walker had the most first place votes for this award.
How do you? What?
They count all votes. He had the most first place votes. He had more first place votes than Garrett Wilson did. This is no shot at Garrett Wilson. I think he actually played fabulous
for his
with
situation.
with no quarterback.
Yep.
He had stud numbers, 1,100 yards, I do believe, kind of like a week 4 touchdowns, but that's also because of that his quarterback situation, and went like 70, 80 catches. So he balled out. I'm not trying to disrespect what he did. What I mean is Kenneth Walker actually had the most first place votes for this award.
And we need to talk a little more about this team as you roll down the list, Jimmer.
Yeah. And we're going to the one that was a slam dunk, which he achieved everything else this season. And that's Defensive Rookie of the Year, Sauce Gardner. What is that? That is AP first team. That is Pro Bowler. That is Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Immediately a top 5 corner in the league. Maybe top 3.
Immediately.
Yeah.
He was a
one.
3-star corner.
Yeah.
Went to Cincinnati. Balled out. They played in a national championship, in fact, right?
Man,
Sauce is the business. He is the man.
Yeah.
you know
We
what?
said we have been fans of Sauce.
Yeah.
Before he blew up at the draft, before his personality grabbed people. We were saying this already because we're kind of Cincinnati guys. You
Yeah.
know, we're like rooting for the dark horse, you know?
I already wrote him off when he
Little
gave
guy.
himself a nickname.
Why?
I was just like, oh, this guy ain't gonna be
He
shit.
didn't give himself that name.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying, but still.
Just because he has.
I'm saying like he got like the eat me, he got sauce. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
wrote him
I'm
off.
like, nah, Ezekiel, sit down. And then no, he made me eat every doubt I had.
He's so good, man. So now think about it. The Jets, okay? Offensive Rookie of the Year. One of two. They could have had another Offensive Rookie of the Year and would have if he didn't get injured
Yes.
in Brees Hall.
Yes.
So they've got a stud running back. Absolute stud. Obviously, they've got a great receiver. They have one of the best cornerbacks in the league immediately, right?
Mm-hmm.
This team's on the up and up, right?
They are finally.
Yes.
And if you are a quarterback looking for a spot, a veteran quarterback, you should be fighting for this spot. You should be taking a discount for this spot.
Yeah, dude.
If you have an opportunity, this is where you should be looking. I told you Indy needs to do everything they can to bring in Derek Carr if they really want to compete.
That's exactly what I was just thinking. Fuck it. Derek Carr needs to go to the Jets,
Derek
dude.
Carr
Yeah.
needs to go to the Jets. He already is a team-friendly guy anyway, has always shown it, right? This is it. This is it. The man, the eventual Hall of Fame quarterback, Derek Carr, leading the Jets to the playoffs and possibly to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
They have all the pieces to do so. It's kind of like a plug and play. And then they can worry about the offensive line. I mean, they started building some of that too, but they add another offensive line piece or two after they grab him. Yeah.
Plug and play, James. Is that the underwear you got on?
Yes, it is.
So, who was, I like Miles' question, who's coach of the year?
Yeah. It better be
One.
him. It better be him.
Brian Dabble.
That's bullshit.
That's the worst of every single one.
Who votes on this?
I love the passion right now. I didn't know both of you were going to go this route.
It's not because of the Giants.
right.
It's because there's one man that this should have been.
Pete fucking Carroll.
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
You know where I'm going.
I think I know where you're going.
It 1,000,000% should have been
Down south.
WP.
Okay. Yes.
100% Doug Peterson.
Doug Peterson
Not
all
even a
fucking
question.
day.
Yeah, not even a question.
Brian, hold on. This team was already there, and yes, he inspired them to go to the playoffs and become what, a 10 or
So they won 3 more games than last year or whatever. Not that much.
No, the
better.
Peterson, the Jaguars have won what, 4 games since they went to the playoffs the last time before this one?
Yeah, awful.
Come on.
What they had to deal with and the scraps that he had to pick up after Urban Meyer, dude.
Yeah.
100%. This team had they came back from 27. Then they had a run against the Chiefs who were in the Super Bowl. Like, what are we talking about?
Right.
Oh man,
Okay.
second-year quarterback, and you do all that, dude?
And that playoff victory when it looks like they should have been down and out, not even facing the Chiefs anyways. Honestly, they had every reason to pack her in after 4 interception performance, right?
Yep.
And then just the legend grows. The legend grows. This is gonna get stupid. No, I'm telling you, he is on board now.
No, I'm
especially with Dougie P.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
You marry these two together, and they get to be together for the next fucking 10 years or whatever, and he gets to do it. Philly bailed on him a little too soon, or maybe that's the way that Dougie P needed to learn. Like, you needed to learn to cut your loss to Carson Wentz when you seen it already going on.
Yeah.
Right? You live and you learn. You start seeing that little twitch or something coming from Trevor Lawrence, cut bait.
Yep.
You know, like, hold on, we're going to go grab another one right now. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm with you guys. I'm not saying Brian Daboll wasn't a good coach or whatever. This was Dougie P, though. I know you.
I'm not going to disagree.
I don't hate the
Pete
Pete Carroll. Sorry, I almost said Steve Carroll. The Pete Carroll thing. I don't hate
because
that
nobody expected that either.
Exactly. They should have been at the bottom, right? We all talked about that. I get you.
That's why I'm not upset about who you guys said.
Yeah.
He should be. But again,
But we can all agree we don't think it probably should have been Brian Daboll.
do we get comeback coach of the year? Pete Carroll.
Hey,
There was an assistant coach of the year, and that was one Mr. D'Amico Ryans, who's your Texans coach, who also has an interesting offensive coordinator possibility in town right now, Danny.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. I hope he does not do that. But
He-
it seems like it's going to happen.
For my sake, I hope
Cliff
he does.
Kingsbury is in Houston.
Big brain thinking did it again.
So we have to give a little bit of love
We
to
do.
Miles.
Thank you.
Miles gave you some love about yours with Durant to the Suns. We got to give him. He did say head coach. He did say Cliff Kingsbury to Houston. We laughed at him, blah, blah, blah. If he becomes offensive coordinator there, I almost got to give him the pass on that. Because
Thank you.
kind of know some shit.
I mean, he
You know what dead clock is, right? Twice a day.
wow, so am I.
Take the win. Hell yeah.
So,
Hell yeah,
so
brother.
Thailand's not going well?
Must not have been.
Taiwan,
Or he
whatever.
had enough of it.
Yeah, that
Made it out.
peyote ban only lasts, a week, and then you got to come back. So
Wait. The last thing you just said.
Yep.
Who was it?
Assistant coach of the year?
Yeah.
D'Amico Ryans.
That's not right either.
Oh,
Oh, okay. What do you got?
The athletic trainer for the Buffalo Bills that saved the guy's life on the field.
what's interesting about that?
They
did.
did.
You see
They
that?
did. They did get.
He got a vote for something. Did he get an MVP vote? He got some kind of wild vote for this year. It might have been
I didn't see
one of
that
the.
part.
There was only like 2 votes that didn't go to Patty. He might have got an MVP vote for the year.
Oh, no way. That's awesome.
Yeah, he got a vote for something ridiculous. I want to say it was MVP.
Okay.
Yeah.
That So they did recognize that whole crew
Okay.
that
okay.
saved his life at the NFL honors.
That's awesome.
So they definitely gave him some love. Like, it's weird that ordinary human beings can save superhumans,
100%, man.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really
DeMar
cool.
Hamlin did save that guy.
Teddy Bridgewater owes his life to the trainer that came out and saved him when he was with the Vikings.
Man, what I would give to just see a video of that.
The way that knee went down,
Well, why do they say it was like life-threatening? Is what I never understood.
how it popped out or
Yeah.
whatever, like how it popped, I guess was. I don't know. I'm not a doctor,
know.
but they said it was a big deal. Like if they wouldn't have did what they did right there before they got him to the ambulance and to the hospital, he would have died.
Did it affect his femur at all? Because there is an artery that runs through your
Probably.
femur. Okay.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
something
probably
nasty.
internal bleeding.
To
or
internal
yeah.
something like when it popped. Yeah.
Did I ever, can I go a little off track? Just
Go
a
ahead.
little bit?
Yep.
I don't know if I said this on here. When I was in high school, my girlfriend was captain on her softball team. Took her, and she just got some new cleats. Metal cleats at the time. She's all excited for her new cleats, went out there, and she hit a dinger. Coming from second, rounding out, sliding into third. Popped her fucking femur.
Dude,
fucking-
you just made a chill go down me when you say
Fucking
it.
cleat went. That metal cleat went about 3 inches, and it tried to push all that dirt.
It grabbed.
And then her weight went forward, and like she's laying there crying. I'm like, what? Like, get up. What's wrong? And I'm like, oh shit, here comes the helicopter and everything. Man, that was a hell of an experience. I'll tell you that. And then I got broke up with the next day. It was kind of cool too. But see, good shit though. But just injuries in sports are just nasty.
Yeah,
it is crazy. We're gonna go over a real quick one. I guess was Walter Payton Man of the Year was Mr. Dak Prescott too. That one's hard to say like who should get. And
so many people do good shit, man.
Yeah, as long as you're doing something good, and by the sounds of it, he was some.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm always pulling for my own team because every team has to nominate one of their players, right? So, kudos to him.
Yeah.
Keeping with the Cowboys, though, Michael Irvin files a defamation lawsuit against woman and hotel. He's seeking $100 million in damages, alleging he was falsely accused of misconduct by a female employee at a Phoenix hotel. So this has been kind of a little crazy story that popped out of the woodworks. He was pulled from earlier this week, he was pulled from all Super Bowl broadcasts of any kind, like pre-games leading up to by Fox, and then even had to move hotels. No explanation as to why. There was nothing. You had to dig. Started coming out a little bit, and the only problem I have with this one is you're trying to save face in one part by saying that you weren't hammered, okay? Remember me saying that because he said that he had a few drinks. And then I went back to my room. Evidently, I didn't go back to my room. They found camera footage of me in the lobby, and I talked to a young lady for like 45 seconds to a minute, supposedly, and then went to my room. Don't know what I said. I have no idea. I don't know her name. Don't know what I said. But you only had a couple drinks. You can't have both, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at. You can't have both. Am I wrong there?
No.
What could you have said anyway?
Yeah,
it's not sexual misconduct. It's just misconduct. So I don't know if it was a pass hat or.
Yeah, and these companies they jump the gun just to be safe. And they're like, let's just pull them until we figure out what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think enough came out to where it's like defamation. I haven't heard enough. You know what I mean? It's not like she's saying he raped her, right?
Right.
So these stories are always hard to tell. It's like is somebody after a money grab or what's up? $100 million is what the fuck?
Could he be getting in front of the curve though? Like just trying to like hold on. You've already lost me my week's worth of, which is my career now, of talking at the Super Bowl about the building up to the game, and I don't know if he was actually part of the Super Bowl broadcast also, but maybe that's going to affect the future of the rest. Like what really happened that night? What happened? Maybe you get ahead of the curve right now. Like hold on, we're not going to sit here and make it okay that show me what I did. Maybe this is one of those things where it's like, you know what, fuck that. I'm suing right now. You're going to teach people to learn to not, because you see an athlete or a former athlete or a famous person and you just go trying to find a money grab. You know what I'm saying? Or like accuse them of something and then you start going down the line of that is what I'm getting at. Maybe he's getting ahead of the curve on that. Maybe he already feels like maybe Fox has already had different conversations with them. Like, hey, we're not going to be able to carry on next year. I don't know what the hell you did, but we're not about that business.
I think he's simply seen this girl who looks like a certain actor I used to watch.
Actress? What's her name?
Actress. Mia Khalifa, or if that's how you say it.
Is she an actress?
She played the script.
Any big time movies she was in?
Horsecock Brothers 2. No, I don't know the names of the movies. But anyways, I could see him saying, like, if I'm him and I've had a couple drinks, the dumbest thing I'm going to say to a random person that looks like her is, hey, I think I seen you in a movie. And that might be literally all it is. But he better hope not, because then she's going to sue his ass too.
I don't know what he could have said in that amount of time. You know what I'm saying? Because there's like video coverage of it or whatever.
Can you get in trouble for politely asking a girl if she wants to go to your room?
I don't know. Then that's the point. That's what I'm getting at, is that if that was a normal human being, not like a Michael Irvin, I'm just saying like me, you, or whatever, and we're single guys, we go fucking do something like that, like they wouldn't have moved you from hotels. You know what I'm saying? Especially when there is coverage of you going back to your room by yourself, right? So whatever you said, I don't know. I have no idea what was said. I have literally no idea. I just know what the incident is doing. $100 million is a lot, though.
Yeah.
Holy shit. $100 million. I don't know
On
what
the other
he's
end of
making.
that, is he trying to put that out there so she shuts up? You know? I could see it both ways. Is he trying to stop it because nothing happened, or is it because he doesn't want any more info coming out about it? Like, I don't know. That's the he said, she said stuff.
It could be the hotel part, because with her it's gonna be what, the hotel's gonna fire me, like I can't find another hotel job.
Where was
But with the hotel, yeah, I could see that, where the hotel, like he's trying to push. He has her in on the thing 'cause she was the employee. That's how you tie it into it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get the hotel. Okay, you get the hotel to do just whatever you think you have or know or whatever. Like, we'll keep pressing. I'll make my money off you then, if you're gonna, kind of like intimidation.
Yeah, I don't know.
Speaking and keeping with it, lawsuits for defamation. Brett Favre is suing Shannon Sharp, Pat McAfee, and the auditor from Mississippi for defamation. I did not see a dollar amount on this one. The funny thing is, did you guys see Pat McAfee's response to this?
No.
Look it up quick. You got to listen to this. You do have to listen to him. He's like, basically, I'm giving you the end piece of what he's saying, though. He's like, I'm not getting an attorney. Fuck that. He's like, I use the words. The reason why I say that is because we run a podcast and we say ridiculous shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'd be awesome if we actually got sued. I'm gonna tell you right now, like that's how you would go to the top. Sue us,
Right.
sue us, because you ain't gonna get shit,
Right.
and you just go weird. Come on, fly right up the top. He's like, I'm not paying for an attorney. He's like, fuck that. He's like, we'll roll with the punches. He's like, I use the words clearly, allegedly. If you allegedly did this, if you did it, you stole from poor people. You stole from the worst kind of the worst version.
Yeah.
You're looking at the wrong thing. But yeah.
Come out and talk about it. Come out and be real about what happened then, Brett.
I'm getting sued by Brett Favre. What? Yeah, we made it, boys. Hey,
You're right.
take a bow. Let's raise our drinks.
Take a bow.
When we started this little show in the basement of a house that certainly was haunted,
Yep.
and the mics rarely worked, and we talked for an hour and a half on numerous occasions and found out that we weren't recording. This
Been
show
there.
has grown so much that we're lucky to be live from Radio Row. We're lucky to have a little bit of say in sports. We're thankful that we have the opportunity every day to be a part of the sports media world.
Leave it there. You're fine. Stop moving it.
And I guess whenever you get a little bit too big, you fly a little bit too close to the sun.
That's right.
I'm getting sued alongside Shannon Sharp and an auditor from Mississippi by Brett fucking Favre. Wow.
Let's
Brett Favre
go.
suing me in a defamation lawsuit saying I defamed his name to try to earn a profit. With this, obviously, I believe comes discovery and depositions and all these other things. So I would like to let the New York lawyers that wrote me 2 letters before this thing got announced. First letter was, we would like you to go back and erase every single video that has Brett Favre's name mentioned in it from your YouTube library, your Twitter library, and everything else. This is a warning shot, pretty much. So I looked at that. I said, that is hilarious. Of course we're not doing that.
Of course
Put
we're
that
not
down, move on with my life. Then a few days later, just a few days ago, actually, you have until Wednesday, okay, this Super Bowl week, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, to issue a public apology
Wow.
to Brett Favre and also
Listen
to
to this.
erase all of the video in your catalog that involve Brett Favre's name. That is 8:30 Wednesday. So my wife read that to me because I was here. She was not here yet. And I immediately started laughing because my wife understands I'm one of the worst apologizers in history. It's tough to get me to do it. It is. It's very difficult. So now I had a deadline, 8:30. I was planning on doing it.
Yeah.
We played pickleball.
We did. It happens. Flew right through it.
I'm
damn.
sorry.
What
I
do
just
you do?
learned about a drop shot. Oh, I'm sorry. I just learned how to serve with like a wicked topspin on it. And I got caught up. That timeline came and went. And all of a sudden, I'm getting sued. I would like to let everybody know the quotes that were in that lawsuit were certainly accurate. But there's one word I believe that was said often on this particular program, if you were to watch it all, and that would be allegedly.
That's right.
Our job is to report the news. Allegedly, what was going on down in Mississippi with Brett Favre, the man who is suing me for money and for defamation, was being reported on this particular program because we owe the sports media world our coverage of it. We take our job seriously as journalists. Just a couple days ago, we introduced to the world darkness retreats for 4 days.
That's right. Bingo.
We've made poop jokes before. We've also potentially been a part of building an indoor facility, which is just like a $100,000 bubble for the Cincinnati Bengals team. We take a lot of pride in our work. We had to cover that situation, and we certainly said allegedly. And a lot of people are wondering how my lawyers are going to handle this. You know it. I ain't got them. So let's ride this fucker. I'm excited to see how it goes. I'll see you in court, pal. Cheers to everybody, and cheers to Feel Good Friday. Not being
Let's ride
I
this
told
fucker.
you.
Cheers on.
God, Brett, you got to stop, man.
Yeah.
If this shit's not real, don't go after people. You need to come out and talk about it. I have
Yeah.
not heard him say shit
Not
about
one
it.
time have you got in front of a camera.
No.
Hey, Brett Favre, with all due
Like,
respect.
go on to his show. Fuck it.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With all due respect.
But just, yeah, allegedly. But regardless, like, just go on to his show then.
Same thing.
These are former NFL players. This is your brotherhood, right?
Yeah.
Like, and you're gonna come at him like that. You've not. And a matter of fact, it wasn't talked about enough. We
No.
brought that up, man.
Yeah, went under the fucking radar.
Under the
Like,
radar.
How the fuck is this happening?
A couple people happened to bring it up and actually talk about it, and he's pissed about that. You should be thanking your fucking lucky stars, dude, because
Yeah.
you were not drugged through the mud, and you're coming at these two people, man. This shit's about to get talked about a lot more.
Yeah,
that was a mistake.
Like this whole thing hasn't been fishy, dude. Like, I can only defend you like so much on certain shit. Now, hold on, dude. You literally took payments for fucking. Took payments to go make speeches. You never showed up to do a speech. The
Right.
payments are literally there. There's nothing you can deny about that. You even returned the money, so that shows that you did it.
Right.
That literally happened. I don't know if you saw that. He
Yeah.
returned that money, right? Weird. You already know you did that.
Or he's returning the money. I think
Yeah.
it's payments.
Is it in
He's
payments?
got like a payment schedule
Yeah,
set
okay.
up for this
Okay.
motherfucker.
Yeah, so you already know that you did part of this. Right? Like, come on, man. And then
Yeah.
you go after someone because they called you a piece of shit based off of
Allegedly.
your alleged involvement in this, which you are involved in some form or facet, regardless. Even if you're 1,000% innocent, you're still involved. It was still based around your foundation, right?
Right.
So
Come on, Brett. We're both gambling addicts. Come out of the closet with it. It's kind of weird that when you retired from the NFL, you weren't broke, but that's because you were still doing Red Label Levi commercials. You ain't doing them anymore, are you?
No, man, I'm excited about this
are you
because
trying to do a heart-to-heart with him right
No,
now?
I'm just saying, hey, we suing Pat?
man, I like it because now the fact that he's suing them, now it's going to get talked about more.
Yes.
This is actually going to hurt his cause
Yes.
because it's going to be talked about. He's suing, Pat. He's suing Shannon Sharp. Why though? They have to talk about why he's suing them, and they have to explain what they said and what was going on. So sorry, bro.
You literally picked two dudes that are loudmouths. So it isn't like they're going to keep it quiet, too. You literally took on Shannon Sharp, who has no qualms about calling a motherfucker out. He calls the dude out that sits across from him that gave him the opportunity to do this sports type of broadcasting and debate, right?
Right.
Literally called him out, like was not giving a fuck. That's that guy, right? And then you call Pat McAfee, who literally gives no shits.
He's in the fucking WWE, dude.
Yeah, give
Pat
no-
is crazy as shit. He doesn't
give
care.
No fucks. You call out two guys. You're doing the exact opposite. You're almost defaming yourself right now.
Yeah.
Like building onto what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like you're defaming yourself because you're putting it in the spotlight.
Exactly.
They're looking at Brett Favre and going, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah.
Right. Oklahoma and Texas agreed to a $100 million fee to exit the Big 12 Conference after the 2023-24 season, which is a year early, gentlemen. On a sub note of that is $100 million total. That means, I assume, $50 million per. It's $100 million total. In lateral news with that, the SEC divides up $721.8 million in total revenue among each member of the schools in their conference, which averages out to $49.9 million per team.
The SEC almost makes $1 billion fucking dollars a year, dude.
Yeah. 49. I just told you $100 million for buyout. These other teams were getting, and that means the bottom of the barrel too, of the SEC is getting $49.9 million. So Oklahoma and Texas, who will bring a revenue with them, will shoot that number up. They literally, by bailing out a year early, if you were the Pac-12 or the Big 12, you do not let this happen.
No.
$100 million? No. You get that back after one season with a revenue share with the SEC. No. We want 3 years of that. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, you got to fight. You got to keep them. Keep bringing that money in while you can, man.
Yeah.
But whatever. Now they're back to going to the SEC early again.
I don't like it.
Too much back and forth.
Just imagine being a college student and your book rentals just went from $20 to $70. Or imagine being a tax-paying citizen in these college towns and your property taxes just went up $10,000 to cover this. All these nil deals, all this bullshit going on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not free, right?
No,
just
none of it's
because
free.
we talk money, but the money's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah, they'll just be like, hey, Nike down the street here in Oregon, yeah, they're going to donate the money, but you see, we're going to have to raise property taxes, everybody, to pay them back.
Exactly.
There's only one fish that keeps getting fed. It ain't ours.
No. Rolling on, though.
And it ain't the Pac-12s.
The Big 12?
Big 12, Pac-12.
Big 12 and Pac-12.
Yeah.
Yeah. About the same.
Both of them, yeah.
About the same, right?
Now.
Rondé Barber, Darrelle Revis, DeMarcus Ware, Zach Thomas, and Joe Thomas
Bad dudes.
are heading to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Any qualms about any one of them?
Yeah, listen, here's the deal. I got this list in front of me of guys who are still waiting to get in the motherfucking Hall of Fame.
Please educate me.
And I'm just going to highlight some of the names like that. We're not eligible this year, okay? Because I think the guys that are eligible this year, maybe not. But Patrick Willis is still out there. He should be a motherfucking Hall of Famer, right? Dwight Freeney was on that list this year, and he didn't get in. I was a little surprised there for him. But then we can go down the list. Sean Alexander's been out there since 2014. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, that man was insane. He had I don't think he still has it, right? But he had the single-season rushing record. Mm-hmm. He had a shitload of, like, that man was so good when he was playing. It doesn't make sense.
He was a touchdown warrior, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I meant. Single-season touchdown rushing. Yeah, for rushing touchdowns. Jared Allen is still out there.
Yeah.
That pisses me off,
That's stupid.
obviously. Mike Allstott, what the fuck?
How is he not in?
Yeah, since 2012.
He was on
We talk about guys you have to bring up when you talk about the story of football. Mike Allstott is sure as fuck one of those guys.
Dude, he was the epitome of this, like the definition of a fullback, which will never exist again either.
He was on the Madden cover as a fullback.
100%.
He was, wasn't he?
Yes.
Man, we can go further down, dude. Hines Ward, maybe not, but I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. James fucking Harrison didn't get into the Hall of Fame this year. I didn't like that. Darren Woodson is still out there since 2010. That just seems like a long time. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Herman Moore, sucks that he played for the Lions. I think his stats are deserving to be in the Hall of Fame, but it kind of hurts that he played for the Lions. What else? Oh, fucking Priest Holmes. Since 2013, still not in the Hall of Fame. Like, this list, man, is insane to me. I don't know. I don't get what they're doing.
They finally got one of those in, and that's Zach Thomas. Zach Thomas he's been on that list forever too. He's one of the guys that you were kind of just naming.
He would have been named if he was still there. Yeah.
Yeah, and luckily they did get that one. Do you have a qualm with any one of those five though?
You didn't say Steven Jackson, right?
No.
Yeah, okay, I got a qualm.
Steven Jackson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he had over 10,000, didn't he?
He had more career rushing yards for the Rams than Eric Dickerson did.
Oh.
Yeah. He was
Didn't know
good,
that.
man.
I watched him push a Bengals player down the sideline about 50 yards.
Yeah, he was a monster.
Just kept, boom, boom, boom. He didn't push him down, though.
Any one of those that you would substitute though? Or are you getting more along the lines of fuck the rules of the 5 guys shit? Like, if you're deserving to be in, especially this many years later, like, yes, you're going in right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's where you're going more with? Okay.
Yeah.
Which I agree with you 1,000%. Because I don't know if there's any one of these guys that shouldn't be in there. So that, like, Rondé should have been in before that, I think. That defense almost, everyone that had a line on that Buccaneers defense, like, that was the key cogs, should have already been in.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't Lynch have to wait for fucking ever two?
Yeah. They changed everything. That defense was, what the fuck? I don't get it.
2022? Or not 2022, 2002?
2002 is about right, yeah.
2002 Buccaneers defense was different. It was stupid. It was Tampa 2. It was basically a defense that was there but wasn't. You know, like, it had been used, but they did it in a different way, and it was fucking amazing. Right? So most of those guys should be.
You remember driving? We were talking about driving past the cemetery one time, and you're like, "Isn't that like a mile-long cemetery?" Or maybe it wasn't you, but somebody was asking me like, "Hey, back where you're from, do they have cemeteries that are this big?" Blah blah blah. And I was like, well, "Yeah, I mean, they go through the hills, and you can't see all of, you know." And I'm not trying to go a morbid way about this at all, but what I'm trying to say is, honestly, I believe the NFL Hall of Fame should be harder to get in. Because they're going to have to keep building on to Canton. Once these people's stuff is in there, you can't just, oh, this is junk now. I mean, you already put them in the Hall of Fame, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have a problem with harder to get in. I think some guys get in that don't deserve it. I don't think there should be a limit each year to who gets in.
That's what he's getting at.
Okay.
So technically, baseball does have this. That's wide open, right? You could have 1 year none. Another year where you can have 7.
Yep.
It's all depending on, you need 75% of the votes. So if they all vote for this eight different players, they're like, yeah, they're all Hall of Famers, and 75% of them each believe it, they're getting in. Right? The NBA has, I don't know if they have the exact number, but it feels like it kind of differentiates. Like, some years will be, I think there's like a minimum number. That's the reason why we kind of have a trash year. I know I'm saying that pretty bad, but we had a trash year, like a year or two ago? It was not good.
Yep.
You know, but I'm with you. They need to, if you're a Hall of Famer, you should be in. You're either first ballot or you're not. And then after that, then you shouldn't be in. Like, so many years have to go by for them to realize that you were a Hall of Famer in the first place. I don't get that.
Yep.
You're just kicking the can down the road. Darrelle Revis, obviously. If I had one qualm, it'd be Darrelle. I know that's going to sound stupid, but his
dominance.
It's very short.
Yeah, I get that.
And what I mean by the dominance is the stats weren't there, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you can pull up completion percentage against you and stuff like that, but you know what? What's the sexy stat that goes with the corner?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Rondé has those. Rondé has forced fumbles. He has stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like,
one of the most unforgettable plays by Rondé. I think it was in the Super Bowl against the Raiders on the sideline. Straight up, dude caught the ball, and he goes in to tackle him, and he just rips the ball, spins, stays in bound, and takes off down the sideline. Just straight.
Was that against the Raiders?
Just straight up jacked that ball from him. It was so cool.
And then maybe Joe Thomas. Because Joe Thomas was part of a losing team. I mean, it's not his fault he got drafted by it. I guess it's dedication and loyalty. He was clear-cut one of the best tackles in the game. So there's no doubt there. It's just like, if you wanted to make an argument for Jared Allen should be in. So, like, if I needed to find a spot, it's going to be probably one of those two that could have waited.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Darrelle Revis is hard for me. I get the sexy thing that you're talking about, but that's where, like, you know, if we were to look at career trajectory of Sauce versus Diggs, right? Diggs is going to have the interceptions. Sauce is not, because they don't throw to that side of the field.
Yeah.
Diggs is not as good a corner as Sauce, though.
Right. You're not wrong.
And that's what the thing with Revis, right? He doesn't have that sexy stuff, but you could not throw to that side of the field. You never could. So, like,
Right.
I'm not saying he necessarily deserved it this year, but I'm saying, like, that.
You see him in a gold jacket
Yeah.
regardless. When okay. So if that's the case, then we just got to go with where our original belief was anyway. Every year should be you're either Hall of Fame, and then the next year, if you don't want them to be first ballot, because it's its own little exclusive club in a club, right? Then fine. Then the next year you're getting in. If we already believe you're a Hall of Famer, like there's no doubt you're in the Hall of Fame. If you're not, I'm sorry, you're pulled. Like you're not a Hall of Famer. You don't just get that like 20 more years down the road.
Yep.
Right? You didn't play any more football.
Right.
You know?
Or, like, somebody dies or something because they waited so long, and then people feel obligated to vote them in.
Yeah. Like we should have got that right in the first place.
Yeah. Like, what are we talking about?
Right. Should already happened.
Yep.
Should never be like that. And you made your point. What was Steven Jackson's stats? I'm curious about that now. Because he was a monster for a little bit.
Hold on.
I'm looking. Steven Jackson's stats. Height, weight. He was 6'2", by the way. I didn't know he was from Las Vegas, Nevada, baby.
Let's go.
He had over 11,000 yards, 69 touchdowns.
461 receptions, 363,683 receiving yards.
I didn't see him.
Four kick returns. 79 kick return yards. I thought it was that.
Has he been retired long enough?
I think this was his first year eligible.
Was it?
I don't even see him on my list, dude. I don't know if he's eligible yet.
39. I don't know when he actually retired.
Major accolades and awards. Super Bowl rings.
His last year was
None.
2015, so he should be.
He had the most yards from scrimmage, most all-purpose yards.
They have a fantasy points on this Pro Football Reference. That's crazy.
What? Do they? What's that
Like
say?
his fantasy point total is 1,958 fantasy points.
That's got to be good, right?
I assume so. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of cool, weird. While you're looking at that,
75% say put him in. Maybe, but others deserve it first. 13.9.
so eventually he'll get in, which gets to back down to Danny's point, is
Yeah.
that if they believe he's a Hall of Famer, he should just be in. I think the cutoff for a running back, unless you were stupid special and something happened you couldn't play it out, then
Fucking Bob Sanders. What the fuck is going on right now? I'm just going
Bob
through. I realized this
Bob
list is
Sanders
long.
was the reason that team won a Super Bowl.
right.
And that we love Peyton Manning. I think he's the best quarterback of all time. I do believe it was Trey Wingo or someone else. I need to pull up that video for you, Danny. I watched a podcast video. I think it was Trey Wingo was talking to these guys, and he's like, I don't think that Tom Brady is the greatest player of all time.
Oh, I did see that.
Do you see that too?
Yeah.
And he gave every reason. He's like, his best game in the Super Bowl. He's like, hold on. He's like, you're basing it off of Super Bowls, which is damn insane to me. He's like, you give one player all the kudos for a Super Bowl victory, and then you hold it against them if you don't have one of those. But then it's the team or whoever that gets if you take the loss, if you already have Super Bowl victories. He's like, the greatest game that he ever played in a Super Bowl was the Eagles' loss. He threw for over 500 yards in that game.
Yeah,
Over 300 in the first half.
exactly.
Right? I mean, that's the point. He's like, I just don't think he is. In so many words is what he's basically getting at. But Bob Sanders was huge. He's a compact man, but his body failed him because he was so small. But he could hit. He was so damn good. He helped propel the Colts to a Super Bowl victory.
Absolutely.
He was their defense. When he wasn't on the field, they weren't the same.
Yeah, not at all.
Right?
Yeah.
And then
he was their Rudy.
I don't know about that. Rudy played what?
2 plays.
Yeah, that being said, and my final one, gentlemen, is Tua. Tagovailoa is thankful to the Dolphins for the long protocol stint. He, when I was reading this damn thing, it still says 2 concussions, Danny.
Yeah, he should not be thankful for them. Should be thankful for everybody that noticed.
Right.
Because it wouldn't have happened.
No. There's a reason.
Coach, you mean tell me this means two? This means two, Coach? Fuck. He's out here calling 42 thinking it means two the whole time, Coach.
On a little sub note of that, Tom Brady files retirement letter to the NFL and the NFLPA.
It's official now.
It is.
Yeah.
Go to your hole, Satan.
Did you see the at the awards? Did you see Kirk Cousins singing? Oh
No.
my God! After we're done, you got to look this video
Okay.
up. So who is it? Kelly Clarkson and him or something like that. They start singing about Tom Brady leaving the NFL, like giving other quarterbacks a chance to win and stuff. It's
Okay,
like they're
I'm
singing.
digging that.
Yeah, you'll like it.
Yeah.
Definitely got to look that up. But yeah, it's
Can't wait.
official,
You
man.
mean our quarterback?
Yeah.
You're. I'm telling you, I've turned over a new leaf. Unless Derek Carr is coming there, Kirk Cousins is my quarterback, and I'm okay with that.
I don't hate Kirk Cousins.
My quarterback.
Yeah.
He's my franchise quarterback. But we do need to look for the future though, because he's getting older. 35.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Terrell Owens. Speaking of which, a guy that they made wait for so long.
That's my quarterback, man.
You know what he did in the Super Bowl on a broken leg, right?
Who?
The last time, well, not the last time they were in, 'cause technically they won. So the time before that, so when the Eagles were in the Super Bowl, that was Mr. Terrell Owens on a broken leg, balled out. That motherfucker was still broken. I don't give a fuck what you. There's no way you healed in 2
That
weeks.
was way too fast. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way that healed in 2 weeks.
That was all the Toradol,
With the,
Miles.
with the
All the Toradol.
yeah.
with the broke neck, man.
That dude.
I knocked him out with a broke neck.
He's so good.
Or was that? I broke my back.
He also killed
Can't
Donovan
remember what he
McNabb's career too. So
Donovan McNabb
after
killed
that,
his
after those
own career.
ducks, was throwing ducks. By the time he got to Minnesota, it was just thump.
Yeah.
He was cutting grass with footballs.
McNabb should have quit running the ball because he seen Michael Vick in college, and he's like, "Oh shit! If I don't get it together, they're gonna replace me with him."
Real quick, gentlemen, before we get to our weekend picks, and what I mean with weekend picks, we have Super Bowl pick, of course, and then we do have a major fight that we need to pick. 'Cause that is a major fight.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you Strange Law. I have to give you these and I'm gonna give you two in the same one, same state. They're too funny not to do them both, and that is Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, you are allowed to marry your house.
Really?
Allowed to marry your house.
Can I fuck it?
So how would that go if you got a divorce? Like, who pays?
Who gets half the
Who
house?
pays what? Yeah.
Right. How about if you do marry the house? Does that mean you have to pay property taxes now?
I want the house to pay them.
Depends on if it's
Oh,
consensual.
there's no house. There's no house payment. We're married. It's
Is it a consensual marriage?
That's true.
yeah. Did the house say yes?
What does the house identify
What year was
as?
the law? We'll tell you how consensual
Dude,
it was.
this one might have just been before its time, baby.
Yeah.
This one might have just been before its time.
Yeah.
And we're there now. That's what I'm saying. It was written way back then. Now we're getting kind of where it's not even that weird.
Here's the deal. You marry the house, but then the house identifies as a garage. You can't marry it anymore.
What if the fucking house is 1 year old?
Oh, yeah. See, but technically the lumber in the house might have been like 6. That's better, right?
No.
Depends. You gotta count the rings on the wood to tell how old the tree was.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
And then the other one from Wisconsin. Jesus, that turned down a way different path. In Wisconsin, after 3 a.m., you have to send a rocket signal in the air after every mile you drive.
I'm about to go drive through just to see that shit. That's amazing.
Every mile, just.
Flare guns going all over the
4th
place.
of July, I ain't getting in trouble for fireworks, dude. I just drove a mile down the road. Get off me.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah.
You could probably do fireworks there, though. It's close enough to the river.
Depending on where you're at.
Mile. You'll
Every
know where I'm
mile
at because I'll have
after 3 a.m.
every mile after 3 a.m.
I think it must be something to do with like drinking and driving. Like they know that, like they can just see.
How straight the rocket is.
No, you're drawing attention to the vehicle, you jackass.
It's easier
If
to
I'm
pin 'em
shooting
down.
my rocket, I'm doing what the law tells me to do.
Right. I'm not saying it for that. You're not getting in trouble for shooting the rocket. You're just drawing like, all right, I'm going to pay attention to this vehicle. Or I might not have noticed this vehicle driving on the side street over here. Now I seen a flare go up. I'm going to go ahead and go over here and start paying attention to this vehicle that may steer a little cockeyed every so often.
Yeah.
Oh, well, either way.
Entrapment.
Entrapment.
All right, brother. Let's do this shit. We've got a pretty big game this. You know what? No, we're gonna cap it off with that. Let's talk about the fight first tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
So we've got Islam and Volkanovski.
Oh, that is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Stand up versus wrestling. They're both talking shit, saying they're gonna stand up. I don't see that happening.
Nope.
But also, Khabib will not be there.
Oh,
Yeah.
why is that?
So I don't know if he's just not his coach anymore, or what is going on. But I know Khabib isn't going to be there. And I'll say this: he won't be in his corner. I don't know if he'll make an appearance, but I know he won't be in his corner. From what I've read, I think that'll make, in my opinion, that's a big deal if he's not there to tell him what to do. But
I think it is too.
That's
If
good.
no, go ahead.
That's if I have to be Miles on this, it's because Khabib knows what was asked. I believe Khabib knows the outcome of this fight. I believe that he was asked to disobey everything. Islam was told to disobey everything that Khabib has taught him, and Khabib doesn't want to be a part of it. I think they want these two to bang. The UFC needs it. You know, you got these guys. You get these. How many times in the past 8 months have we led
I'm
up?
hanging with you on this one.
We led up to these big fights,
Yep.
and it's just literally one guy just doing the groundwork, and it's like, I just fucking paid all this money for this guy to go to the ground with him. I don't want to see this shit. I'll see it on the highlight on Facebook later.
True. I'm not against you on that. That being said, he isn't a guy that just does whatever it's told. I'm not talking about Islam. I'm talking about Khabib. I don't know if that's. Have you found a reason why he's not there? Is that what you're looking up?
so he said it had to do with being with his family.
Oh, I don't know if there's something going on.
Because he's
maybe.
been traveling a lot with the team, and he wants to be back with the family. So Islam said, I understand. He's traveled a lot with the team, and he wants to be with his family.
So you wouldn't go back a few weeks early to hang with your family and then come back for the fight? Like miss the training versus the actual day?
Yeah.
Regardless, that's a little weird. I will say that. That being said, if this stands up, Volkanovski's going to fuck him up, right? If it stays
Yes.
that way. If it's predictable. If Volkanovski knows or it looks like it's going to stay that way, we're going to stay standing and banging, that goes right to what – that was the machine. When I watch that man hit, that is stupid. Otherwise, I'm going to Islam. If we didn't even know that it's going to be saying, I'm going Islam. But if we know it's a stand and bang, that's Volkanovski, right?
I know why Khabib's not going. I just solved it. He does want to be associated with anybody that's slapping women up.
Oh.
That's it. He doesn't want to be associated with the UFC as long as Dana White's there now. That's the kind of man Khabib is, though.
You could just say it.
I think he would.
I think you
You
would.
know what I mean? I don't know.
Either
It's a good
that
call,
or either
dude.
that he doesn't want to draw attention away from his fighter, which that's on him. Maybe that's it. That's just way like, dude, I'll help you get trained up for fighting, but as for showing up for that, I can't do that. That being against my I can see that. Okay.
Because his fans are going to watch the UFC for him, and he doesn't want to be associated with that. He doesn't want to be tied to it.
Yep.
Yeah, I worry. So I'll make the pick first, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Khabib's not going to be there to talk sense into him. I'm worried that his pride is going to make him want to box because
Yeah.
people are saying he can't hang with boxing. And it's fine, bro, because you're one of the best wrestlers in the world.
Yeah.
Do what you do.
Yep.
If he wrestles, he's going to win. I'm worried that he's going to try to stand up too long and he's going to get fucked up. I think Volkanovski actually wins this. And it's in part because Khabib won't be there to check him, put him in check and be like, what are you doing? Take him down, tap him.
Fucking around.
Yeah.
Because he stood up in the last one for a while too, right? He was showing his boxing skill in that one
A little bit, yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
But he's not Volkanovski.
Right.
Regardless, like that's a monster. There's so much power.
And remember, he
So much
had
power
to,
and tech.
Islam's way bigger than Volkanovski. He had to cut a lot of weight. So he's going to be a little bit more drained. Volkanovski had to bulk up, quite frankly. And he still was like half pound short of the 155.
Was he?
Yeah. So I think Volkanovski's going to have a lot more energy. He's at home. He's going to have the home, we'll call it home field advantage. I'm giving it the edge to Volk.
I'm giving it to Volk, too. That's what my official one will be. It'll be Volk. If Islam does find a way to win this, if he doesn't, or not find a way, we know how he would win, and he can win, and you wouldn't be shocked by it.
Yeah.
If he does, this could be, I brought it up last time. We're watching the middle of like a 10-year run.
Agreed.
Like we're watching something stupid happen right in front of us. But this is it. This is literally right in front of us, gentlemen, because Volkanovski, there's no joke. They set this fight. They're two different weight classes, but they are the monsters of their weight class, right? Like, they are the top tier. You get past Volkanovski, who's a fucking man in himself, I'll never bet against you again.
Yeah.
I'll never say that someone else is beating you. I don't care who. I don't care if you went all the way up to John Jones. I would still take you then. Okay?
Man.
What do you got, Miles?
Draw.
No way. You just said that the UFC made the call.
I did, but if I'm making a bet, I'm betting draw.
What?
Because that's gonna pay out the most, baby.
I know. We're not talking about the betting side. We're talking about who's your pick. Who's winning this? Who's walking away with the victory?
With 2 belts.
They are both on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Each one.
Islam.
There we go.
And so Volks isn't. He's not putting his, obviously, because he doesn't have that anymore at that weight class, but it's the pound for pound belt is what his is. And obviously Islam's is for the 155.
I'm going Islam.
Okay. I like it. We hope for some entertainment, right?
Right.
Not some boring
And it's
shit.
going to be something dumb if he does win it. But like I said, that's who I would bet on. But if it's rigged like I think it is, it's Volkanovski.
What could legitimately happen is Islam takes him down and immediately,
Snaps
and he
his
can't do
leg.
anything. Well, because he don't get me wrong, he probably has some defense, off the ground. Volk does, but some defense is nothing.
Yeah, compared to
what this guy does.
What
Yeah.
he can bring.
You ever seen those guys when they go on the ground and they put their feet and their hands up?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like, "Oh, I dare you to come at me."
Yeah.
I just want to put a heel in their butt.
You changed my mind. I got to go Islam, I think. I think you just changed my mind. You did.
There's a real chance that could happen.
Right, and I think he can. I think he loves Khabib so much and his style that he will do what was trained of him to do.
Okay.
And I understand it'd be so much easier. It'd be so much better if he was in-house. I think that's all he's going to look for. His best bet is to stay away from Volkanovski in a punching match.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's a smarter human being than getting into a boxing match with Volkanovski. And he's clear-cut the best wrestler, right? Or one of the best wrestlers in the world. So, yeah we're going to ride with it.
Yeah, it's about to be Islam. He's about to get what Happy Gilmore did, except it's going to
Way to go, Danny. You talked me off it.
It's going to be Happy Gilmore and Chubbs. It's all in the hips, and it's going to be Khabib and Islam's head. It's all in the fuck him up. Fuck him up.
And now,
It is time for the big game on Sunday. The Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen.
mm-hmm.
This is happy and sad because this is the end of the NFL season.
It is. But it's the hopes. It's almost the end of the start of the new.
It's the
Because that's what I'm also more excited about. Because right after this, we're working on.
We got to get our hopes up again.
We got to
baby.
get our hopes up here.
Let's go.
To come crashing down. I think I kept mine relatively right here for most of it.
Yeah.
A little spike happened. I kept myself. I'm like, you know what? This defense is too bad. So
Yep.
I didn't get my hopes up too high. I don't think you did either.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get them up now. Defense coordinator in the house. We have stuff to build on. I know you get all your starters back. You got to get a little jack for that. So this is that final step before we get on to our hopes and dreams of next year. We got the Eagles and the Chiefs.
Miles, kick it off, baby. Who you got?
We're in Las Vegas, right?
Phoenix.
Mm-hmm. Phoenix. State Farm.
Oh, it makes my bet so much. It makes me. I'm going with the Eagles, baby.
You're going with the Eagles.
Why?
Eagles. Why, Miles?
Fly.
Pyramids, aliens, Phoenix, Eagles.
Birds. Okay.
Birds of a feather.
Okay.
No, I'm going with the Eagles for that front line of the defense. Darius Slay, and then I'm gonna roll it over to
They're the most complete.
Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, all 20 of their running backs. Yeah, it's gonna be the Eagles.
Go ahead, Jimmer.
I keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Oh, boy.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. And that's going against the Chiefs on a regular basis. I keep doing it. I hate both teams. I do not like the Chiefs because of people I work with. Tired of it. Watched him turn one of my fellow Viking fans into a Chief fan and throw a jersey on him and a picture get taken, right? Just, And then the Eagles, just gross. The way they treated everything, like when they did beat us in the NFC Championship, how their fan base was, more specifically the Philadelphia-based fan base. This is one of the worst case scenarios for me. Almost one of the worst case. But I can't. I'm tired of going against Patrick Mahomes. I think he's going to pull off the upset. They don't. You know what the Eagles don't have? They don't have Patrick Mahomes. Jalen Hurts, nice quarterback. I think he's a very good quarterback. I think he's a Pro Bowler. All that stuff. You still don't have the best quarterback on the planet, on your team, with the weapons that they do have. And they know how to use the few weapons that they do have compared to all the weapons you do have. You can't stop Travis Kelce. You're not going to be able to do it. Do you have you ever faced the Chris Jones coming up the gut with the speed and size that he comes with? Jalen Hurts will be running for his life. Absolutely. We'll see if the rest can hang on. But I think we're going to be entertained at bare minimum. I'm going Chiefs, and I don't really want to, but I hate the Eagles. So.
I got you. It's a tough one, right? The Eagles, top to bottom, have a better team.
Yes.
They're seriously lacking a quarterback because Patrick Mahomes is that good. That's the biggest X factor. I listened to Brandon Ayuk after that Niners game, and he was pissed. I don't know if you guys saw this, but he was pissed because he's like, we were going to eat up that secondary. He's like, we had the game plan. That secondary is not good. We were going to beat them if we had a quarterback, 100%. And he talked about that, and he had the confidence. He's like, we were more upset because we couldn't do what we game planned for. Now, I watched the Eagles. Did they lose to Washington?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty bad. They got beat up by Washington.
Yeah.
Right? The Eagles have not played very many, especially since Jalen got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They have not played great since then. They beat up the Niners, whatever.
But did they?
Right.
Because their
No
offense only
quarterback.
put up like 200 and something odd yards. The Eagles' offense did. Only put up like 200 and something yards total offense.
Exactly, man. But then we're looking at like Patrick Mahomes is hurt, right? I think Jalen's more hurt. He's still not fully recovered. They're not 100%, and he's so critical to that team.
Yeah.
The Chiefs are going to win this game. And one extra thing I'm going to throw at you, Kadarius Toney practiced in full yesterday.
Okay.
That could be the X factor they need.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's not the only one.
Who?
Hardman came back.
Oh, yeah. Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
What about Pringle?
But,
Okay.
so think about it, though, too. That defensive line, they don't blitz a lot in Philly. They just rush their four, and they get a lot of pressures. Kansas City's got a top 5 offensive line, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they'll pressure Mahomes and things like that, but I think they're going to be able to do enough, and he's so fucking good.
They won't blitz him, that's for sure.
They can't.
No. Yeah, you can't.
I think they need it back in coverage because
Their secondary's not
you
great.
better hope that your four can get there and create some pressure by itself, right? I'm with you.
But when we think about the fact that like Philly technically is so much better everywhere besides Patty and Travis, they're only favored by 1.5, right?
Mm-hmm.
That says a lot, doesn't it?
I think so too. Kansas City has some very good pieces and some very good and some very good places. Like I said, they probably have the best defensive tackle, at least in this game. They have the best tight end, obviously, because you probably have the GOAT tight end of all time. If not, then you're definitely in the top 3, right?
Yeah.
You have the best quarterback in the league, so I've already stated that. And I'm curious about your run game. I don't care about who it is. What I'm more specifically talking about is their scheme. And you clearly have the better coach, too. The Chiefs clearly have the better coach.
Yeah.
And that doesn't even mean like running Sirianni under the bus, which I can do that if you'd like, because I do think he's kind of on the opportune side.
Very opportune.
But he is clearly not Andy Reid, though. So Andy Reid, you could make an argument, is the greatest coach of all time. You could make the argument, right?
Yeah.
He might not have the Super Bowl numbers like a Bill Belichick, the Super Bowls like that, like the number of wins. He went to what? Like he's went to like 7 or 8, 9 AFC or conference championship games, I should say.
I think 10.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's played in this many Super Bowls too. Like, brother, it's not easy to win the Super Bowl anyway. Like, if there was a lot of fate that went possible or a script that went for the Patriots, right, to pull those off.
Yeah.
The clear cut is, and that's the reason why I'm tired. I'm not going to hang my hat on. I'm going to go with the experience on this one. That's the reason why I'm with you. I'm on the experience side of this. I just think I'm tired of going against Patrick Mahomes and this. Like, I'll reset for next year, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll reset.
That's the problem, right? We bet against him every time we're wrong, every fucking time.
Yep.
Not doing it.
Not doing it.
Let's
I'm
go,
with
Patty.
you. I'm with you. And I've been sneakily thinking the same thing that you have about the Hurts. I don't know if he's been 100% since he's came back. I think he kind of rushed back because he wanted to push for that number 1 seed to make sure it was sealed up. I don't think he was ready. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to be. There's no way you kind of can't be at this point unless it was more severe in the first place. He's had 2 weeks to get right. On top of he already played on it, so I bet you it'd be all right.
I think so too. Just enough.
Just enough.
He's what's required of him when it comes to his mobility isn't as much as what's required of Jalen.
Right. Plus the script wants their poster boy. So the script this will happen.
We're betting on the script.
I'm betting on the script. Bang.
Line them up. And let's not forget, gentlemen.
4s.
4 is on the line.
Yeah. I could be doing them by myself.
So hold on, we did agree that these were. Is this a 2 or is it 1.5?
That's 1.5. That's
You try to tell us it's 1.
It is 1. It's a man.
Oh,
Dude,
that's why I was drinking out of it, Danny.
dude, you could fit this other one all clearly inside.
I do like now you're asking when you tell everybody it's 1 until you're like, I'm going to have to do 4
I
of
might have
these.
to do 4 of these motherfuckers because I'm not taking the most top to bottom, most talented team in this matchup.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, so on paper it should be the Eagles all day, right?
Yep.
Hey,
They have the best receiver. We didn't talk about the Eagles.
They have the 2.
They have the 2 best
Yeah.
receivers in this game,
Not
right?
even close, yeah.
And they have a pretty damn good. They have a top 5 tight end in this game,
Yeah.
right? They have a MVP or they have a Pro Bowl quarterback. You know what I'm saying? We didn't go that route. Their defense, they have some pieces that are way better than on the other side of the ball. The other side counterpart. Darius Slay is the best corner on the field.
Yeah.
Right? You have nice pieces there everywhere. That Gardner, that safety.
we better be looking in the backup quarterbacks.
I definitely hope that there's some backup quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Like
Better
actually,
be 3.
right? KC, he's already on a hobbled foot. You better have 2 quarterbacks.
Better
fine.
have Christian McCaffrey back there warming up.
Get him in the game, boys.
yeah.
It is. I'm with you on this, Miles. It's getting cold as fuck in
It
here.
is.
Yeah. Makes sense if you don't think about it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Hey, NFL. It's Super Bowl weekend. All the bullshit we've dealt with the refs all year, don't let it come down to that.
Okay.
Don't let me waste 18 weeks of regular season and then all the playoffs of your refs fucking up everything to go into the biggest game.
Let them
again.
play.
Let them play.
Let the players play.
Let the players play. Makes sense if you don't think about it.
Yeah.
Don't go against the script, Miles.
I don't know how to make it make sense because the refs can't.
Agreed, brother. I like it. God, I'm excited for the Super Bowl,
So
boys.
am I, baby.
Let's
So am
get
I.
this thing going. All right, for you beautiful people out there that found us on the interwebs, be sure to like, subscribe, share, give us a rating. It helps expand the reach, and other people can see and hear our beautiful voices here. But, Jimmer, where is the podcast available?
Anywhere and everywhere the podcast that you do get your podcast.
That was new.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, iHeartRadio, and YouTube.
You're damn right. Don't forget YouTube. Did you say YouTube?
I did say
Okay,
YouTube.
okay,
Yeah,
you did
yeah,
say
yeah.
YouTube. Yeah,
Not red tube.
Look, yeah. Not RedTube.
Not red tube.
Not RedTube.
not RedTube.
1-800 deer tags. Get your free deer tags.
Not FICFAP yet. In the future, we'll talk about that
We'll
shit.
Talk about sponsorship.
But we love to tell stories. So if you've got a story, what do they need to do, Miles?
Slide on up in them DMs, and if you're getting sued by Brett Favre, slide up in them DMs too. Attorney.
Yeah, we can be your attorney for this. We'll talk about it.
Hey, lawyer Miles.
We didn't pass the bar.
He wants the
but we can
fucking
talk.
truth.
That's right, baby. Make sure you slide into the DMs. We love to hear a good story. But it's cold as shit in here. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This is 3 Geek Sports.
We out.
I've been writing, I love it.